Hi, Savvy Sales community. Last week, I had a really interesting conversation with a prospect. He's the VP of sales in the technology industry. And he commented on my level of professional persistence, especially in follow-up. He shared with me his secret and how he chooses which sales professional to engage with in sales conversation. If you're not doing this one thing that the VP suggests, you might want to consider adding it. In today's video, I'll be sharing with you two examples. One example of what to do and another example of what not to do. Keep watching. Hi, my name is Christine Harrington, the Savvy Sales Lady, your personal YouTube sales coach, bringing coaching and training through videos to help your sales success. Now, if you're not already a part of the Savvy Sales community, let me invite you now to hit that subscribe button and the notification bell. We're a community for all salespeople. Be sure and watch to the end though, because I'll share with you a bonus tip. Now here's the right way to follow up. Glenn, the VP of Sales, shared with me recently the reason he took my first call, and it was simply this. I took the time to send a follow-up email the day before our call took place. Here's the email. Hi Glenn. Just a quick reminder that I'll be calling Thursday morning at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time to begin our conversation. Also, as a convenience, I've listed the links below that showcase my work in case you haven't had a chance yet to review it. Regards, Christine Harrington. Glenn told me he only takes calls from sales professionals who send him a follow-up reminder 24 hours ahead of a scheduled call. He explained that persistent follow-up shows the level of commitment and importance the salesperson places on the prospect. While you may think you're being a nuisance, the prospect finds it refreshing to actually receive follow-up. That's how rare it is. Touch points. My touch points with Glenn through emails, phone calls, and LinkedIn introductions have been around 13 as I shoot this video. And we've been engaged in conversation since the end of August to give you a time frame. Because Glenn, like most prospects, are busy, I'll send a follow-up email on the follow-up. Here's an example. Good day, Glenn. Yesterday, I left you a voice message, and this is a follow-up email. It sounds like you're really busy. I'll give you a call on Thursday at 12 Eastern Standard Time. Hopefully, you'll be available to continue our conversation. Best wishes, Christine Harrington. Now here's a contrast, the wrong way to follow up. And sadly, this is typical of most salespeople. You see, in the last 6 months, I've been engaged in a conversation with a sales rep pursuing me to buy their product. I had 2 conversations with the rep about their product, which spanned over the course of a month with no email follow-up at all. Then, as a prospect, I was handed off to a follow-up bot. I kid you not. Twice a month, I received a generated follow-up email saying the same thing. I no longer have the emails to share because I was so frustrated I deleted every single one. This is bad on so many levels. After my first initial phone call with the sales rep, he was to provide additional information. That didn't come until 2 weeks later, when he called again, then subsequently passed me off to another team member who gave me a broad scope of how their product could benefit my business. Again, no follow-up, no phone call after the presentation from the team member, just crickets. My questions are still hanging in the air with no answers. And as of this video, I've never heard from the sales rep again. Then a few weeks later, the AI follow-up bot began sending me the same email over and over. I don't know about you, but I don't buy from an AI bot. So what's my conclusion? The sales rep did not perceive me as a serious prospect. What other conclusion is there? How could this sales rep be hitting his goals with this level of neglect? Yes, it is neglect when a sales rep initiates a conversation with a buyer, then doesn't take seriously the time he or she spent talking with the buyer. The 1.5 hours I gave to the rep over 2 phone conversations was a complete waste of my time. And we wonder why buyers are so reluctant to take calls from sales reps. By the way, I was never asked, and please hear me on this, I was never asked to buy. One follow-up isn't enough. One reminder of an upcoming scheduled call isn't enough. Here's the bonus tip I promised. And these are rules of engagement for follow-up, whether by phone or email. Always follow up with the buyer after a phone call detailing the conversation and who is to provide what information to the buyer. Follow up when another team member has spoken to the buyer. Follow up 24 hours before the scheduled phone call as a courtesy. Always follow up to thank the buyer for the time spent with you after providing information that the buyer requested. Follow up to find out if any questions have surfaced that requires an answer from you or your team. Follow up to close the deal. Anything less is irresponsible selling. Whenever I review a sales team's level of follow-up activity, it's no wonder goals are not being met, because rarely do I run across a sales professional that matches or exceeds my level of professional follow-up. Don't misunderstand me. I'm not bragging about my professionalism. However, a day doesn't go by that I don't hear from a sales rep saying to me,
"I don't want to be a nuisance, Christine, and follow up too much."
Following up consistently is behaving in a professional manner. You can so easily turn your sales around by just being consistent in one vital area: follow up. Are you willing to up your level of follow up? If you are, give this video a thumbs up and share it with your circle of influence too. But remember this: sales is a journey, not a quick trip around the block. I'll see you on the next coaching video.